He was tied to a tree, half buried in snow, the rope digging into his neck like a noose frozen in time. His fur was stiff with frost, his ribs protruded through his coat, and his body hung lifeless, but his chest still rose, faint and slow. That tiny flicker of life was what made Cara slam on the brakes. She had been driving through the back roads of Winter Lake, her eyes fixed on the snowy horizon, anxious to beat the approaching storm. The wind howled, rattling the car, and the trees lining the road swayed like tired sentinels. Then something caught her eye. Just off the shoulder, a golden shape leaned awkwardly against a pine tree. Her heart lurched. She pulled over, threw the door open, and ran. When she reached him, her breath caught. A golden retriever, nearly indistinguishable from the snow, was tied tightly to the trunk. His body was barely breathing. His head drooped, and the rope had frozen to the bark. "Oh no," she whispered, dropping to her knees. She reached out and felt a weak thump beneath his ribs. Alive, but barely. Her hand scrambled at the frozen knot. The rope didn't budge. She tore off her gloves and clawed with bare fingers, ignoring the ice cutting into her skin. Nothing worked. Her eyes darted around the ground. Branches, snow, frost. Then her hand closed around the car key in her pocket. She used it to hack at the rope, knuckles bleeding, breath fogging the air. At last, with one final twist, the rope snapped. The dog collapsed into her arms like a heap of bones and ice. Cara ran back to the car, stumbling through snowdrifts. She set him on the seat, cranked the heater, and wrapped him in her coat. He was far too light. "Please," she whispered, "please don't give up." She pressed her hands to his chest. No response. Then a twitch, a flicker of movement. She drove fast. The road blurred beneath her wheels as she raced toward the veterinary clinic. Inside, chaos met her. Staff rushed the dog into the back while Cara stood shaking, her hands cut in red, her coat soaked. Dr. Fiona Hayes took control. Severe hypothermia, no microofractures, low oxygen. Get heat pads and IV fluids. Machines beeped softly. Time stretched into eternity. They scanned the dog's microchip. He was registered. A call was placed. A man answered. When told his dog was found nearly dead, his voice held no concern. "Oh, that mutt! I dumped him last week. He's useless." Carrara's chest tightened. "You left him to die," she whispered. "Lady, it's just a dog," he replied before hanging up. Dr. Hayes looked at Carrara. "He's legally unclaimed now." "If you're willing." Cara didn't wait. "He's mine." Hours later, the dog still hadn't stirred. Wrapped in blankets, oxygen mask in place, his body lay small on the padded table. Cara sat beside him, refusing to move. She told him stories about her old dog as a child, about warm summers and open fields, about second chances. She spoke until her voice grew. Then his ears twitched, his eyelids lifted. His gaze, cloudy but real, found hers. Carrara leaned forward, brushing his head with trembling fingers. A slow, soft thump of his tail answered. "You're safe now," she whispered. And this time he believed her. Sometimes the smallest breath holds the loudest cry for help. In a world where cruelty often hides in silence, one act of kindness can rewrite a fate. This story reminds us that every life, no matter how abandoned or broken, is worthy of a second chance.